All right, welcome back to the Council of Ties, where tie stacks may or may not freak out in the middle of the podcast, and that may or may not end up in the podcast because of the Flyers. Go Flyers! So today we're going to talk about card games and other physical games, maybe board games, depending upon time. One of the common threads between the three of us is that we've all collected card games over the years, like most nerds have, and we have all kind of different collections, I'd say. Ty Stacks is recently into Pokemon collecting, right? Not
Oh
not
yeah,
uh, not scalping.
fresh collecting.
Um, Adaptive, we've learned, is long into collecting, not
I
a
took
new thing.
I took a little hiatus because my bank account and I'm a college student. But you know, when I get big boy bucks, I'll try to buy some more.
I also have a history of collecting Pokemon cards, but that is a whole story that I will share at some point. But most of my collection's been focused on Magic the Gathering over the years because that was my original introduction to TCGs. But so to kick it off, because Adaptive, I am just endlessly curious. What do you got? Why don't you
All
just
right.
start showing us things? And
Well, okay,
in
I'll
this
start.
process, talk about your journey.
I'll start with a banger here. I have this card. It is ludicrous size. I don't want to buy a sleeve for it because it is like a $10 sleeve just for this card. I mainly have it for display. I'm never gonna play this on the field.
Put it up to your face for like comparison. Oh my god.
You have
Also,
no idea. Like I'm gonna
the
I might
site
frame
challenge,
this. What were you saying?
for the site challenge, will you name what that card? Describe that card.
Yes, yes, yes. Um. Uh.
It's a Blastoise.
Yes. Sorry, my mother texted
Oh,
me. It's a Blastoise. It's like a full hollow, full art Blastoise. It is the size of my face, which is ludicrous, or my head, and it's a Gigantamax. So if you played any of I think it was Sword had Gigantamax. It was Sword, right?
mhm.
Sword and Shield had
Sword and Shield,
Gigantamax.
yeah.
So it's like the card is supposed to just be kind of like a scale comparison, I guess, compared to the regular cards. And fun fact, actually, I pull out this, all of my card cased cards. Hold on, hold on. I have the actual card that goes. So I have it here in a sleeve. I have a special Blastoise. Um, and then in here is the actual, like, just for comparison for the viewers. Here's the actual card and the Giganta card, whatever you want to call it.
That is a Gigantamax card. That's huge.
Yes. So I want to eventually put this into a deck. One of my I'll go over my collection, more of my collection in a second, but one of my biggest complaints about like the overall, oh, also this has the same hollow effect as the same full hollow full. It's got like, you need crazy energy to use. But I actually really like playing Pokemon. In fact, I have the whole academy, so I have like the board and everything like that because it's easier to set up the board than to like remember. And I I love Pokemon, but the scalping sucks because I actually collect to build decks. I like building decks. I like adding and mixing cards. I have like a fire deck, a dark deck, a water deck, dragon deck, a Mewtwo deck, a Charizard deck. Hold on. A Pikachu deck. Hold on, I have more. In here I have a Stellar Crown deck, which was like pre-made, came with a TCG booster pack, and I have a Bulbasaur deck. So as you can tell, I really like playing the game. It's a lot of
In
fun.
case anybody was wondering where Adaptive's liquid cash goes.
Yeah, I guess that's where it goes. Well, I've bought these all like way over time. In fact, when I bought this, I got this at MSRP, and it came with like like a booster pack, which is crazy because of how they price things now. Even mom and pop shops have to increase prices to scalpers, which sucks.
No, hold on. I object to that. If your LGS is a good one, they won't do that.
Well, they don't necessarily. The only time they do is if it's, I guess you could say, a discontinued set. Um, but also for anybody, I'll crash out. For anybody that is watching that is wondering what this looks like, it basically has like the rules of the game on it. It is a board game, kinda. It's kind of hard, but you have like your bench, your like prize cards, and then right here on each side it has like what you do each turn. Right. Every once in a while, when I play after like 5-month hiatus, it takes some time to remember. But that's part of the fun. Um, and then this is from when I was a kid. I have like this crappy little Pokemon thing. I separated it by types. These are just regular cards. There really isn't that much. Just all the different types like water, fire, earth.
I'm not laughing at your collection. There have been many instances over the 6 episodes of the podcast we've done to date, and even prior to that in planning and some of the b-roll stuff that we've done, where you have said when I was a kid, and then you show me something or you tell me something that was out or relevant when you were a kid. In this case, you held up that binder and it's got Froakie on it,
Yeah.
I
and
thought the
that
same
came out
thing.
when you were a kid. There's a meme of Matt Damon turning into an old man from a movie.
Yeah.
Every time you say that, I feel like that instantly, immediately,
So
every single time.
so then I have more. I'll just show you what this looks like. This is a box full of regular cards, and then all my hollows or reverse hollows or whatever it may be, I put into sleeves just to keep foil from deteriorating because I love the foil. And I don't want it to get destroyed. When I play them. But hold on, let me see if I can. Sorry, it takes a
Now,
second.
with your collection there, have you ever considered sending any of those off for grading?
I will show you the ones I've considered.
Okay.
These are not the good ones. They're just like hollows, reverse hollows. If there's one that I thought was really pretty, I put it into a hard case because I just wanted to preserve it. I don't believe really in value of cards. That's something I'm not really like a fan of. Like I like it. Like don't get me wrong, it's nice, but it's not exactly what I'm looking for when I'm buying Pokemon. I'm looking to build decks, like really cool, diverse decks that you can build. I still have to get into it because you have to have like a certain number of energies. You have to have all these different things. All right. So that's like all my hollows, right? And then I have even more sprinkled in here with, I've got like cool casings. You can see for the viewers and just for listeners, this is just a reverse hollow. I'm pretty sure, right? Reverse hollow because
Yeah, that's a
it's in the
reverse.
center. Yeah. So
Or
I
no,
have
no,
a
no.
bunch of those.
That's just
Reverse
the
hollow is like where the text and stuff. There's
yeah.
hollow on that part of it, and
Oh,
then
I
not
got
on
you.
the photo of the Pokemon.
All right. So that's in an old booster box, but I'll show you guys my collection here. I have a Korean card. I forgot what this Pokemon's name is, which I know is a sin, but
Oh, that's
Kingdra.
is that Kingdra?
but I'll just run through them really quick. I've got this card, got a Ledian, however you want to say it, but a full art and a hollow, so it's beautiful. I've got a Petron, which is also full art hollow, beautiful. What else? I've got 3 of these um Okadoki, I think that's how you say it, cards. It's like the bear. So this is the full art hollow, and then I have 2 of these EXs, which are also beautiful. Um, I've got Greninja EX, which I don't know from when I was a kid. I collected as a kid. Apparently, I don't remember it really. Terrible memory. Calrex Ice Rider, a V. Yep, and then a Lapras V, and then kind of like this kind of Dogwater Reshiram EX, which doesn't have a hollow, but it's pretty. And then moving on to that's a reverse hollow.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, so I
Yep.
have a reverse
Yep.
hollow there. This one's a regular hollow. I don't know why I put that in that one. This one is a hollow, but it's got a cool pattern. So it's kind of hard to see, but it's got like the hollow is like dots, little dots instead of a regular hollow. Very interesting. Not that great, but I have another Korean card. I forgot the name of this one. had this Pokemon.
That's Jinx.
That's Jinx.
Jinx. This was just a pretty hollow. This is a Japanese card. All the Japanese ones, when I get a good pull, I try to save them because they're really pretty. And then I have, these are like my best ones. So I have a Flygon EX from Stellar Crown. Really pretty. And then I have a Galvantula, which is also very pretty. And then these are the like hyper rares I've drawn. I think they're hyper rares. Got the exact name. I have a Miracle Headset, which is like this pink hollow, really cool card. It's got like this diamond hollow on it, and down the sides it has its like same hollow effect on all of them. And then I've got a Pokevital A and a Master Ball too. These are the only cards I've ever considered getting graded. These ones and ones, the Stellar Crown and the hyper rares are they're really really cool, and these pull rates on the pink ones are really low, so I don't know how I got 3 of them. But yeah, that's basically the collection. I had to share it because I know Tyglorious was very.
I am. And can I ask you? So, what's your philosophy when buying cards? Like,
My
do you
philosophy,
buy
like, how do you mean?
booster bundles? Do you buy booster boxes? Do you buy trainer bundles? I mean, how do you go about it?
It heavily depends. Excuse me. If I'm trying to like get like a chase card or a cool cards, because sometimes you want to pull the cool card. I'll buy a booster bundle. I like the called the ETBs because they come with like coins and energies which you can use to build decks, which is probably one of my favorite things, and like sometimes dice, which I really really like because they're just cool. So I try, and I'll go single pack here and there, but single pack has been kind of, it seems a lot less efficient in terms of money, like what you're spending to get. And especially with the only time I'll really do pack to pack is Japanese or Korean Pokemon cards because they're a lot cheaper. There's fewer cards. You can't really buy like an based off of those, like a Japanese ETB. I don't even know if they have ETBs for that, and might or Korea. But my philosophy is if it's a mom and pop shop and they're charging like $5-10 over market price, just because of scalpers and they don't want scalpers to come in, I'll pay the $5 to $10 extra. You know what I mean? Not bad. But if I'm walking into a shop, like when Prismatic Evolutions was out, which was my chase, like I was trying to find them. When Prismatic Evolutions came out, I was not willing to spend anything over $60 for an ETB. And everywhere you went, they were $150. I was like, I'm not spending any amount of money like that on 6 booster packs, dice, and coins, plastic coins. Like, no. My philosophy is basically like support the mom and pop, don't support the scalpers. Don't think any scalper should be getting any form of monetary income from this. I disagree with it entirely. I'm on Moist Critical's side with that. I'm on everybody else's side of the internet with that. Like, it's just the sad part is that I kind of stopped doing Pokemon because it was getting expensive, just base price, but also like people are getting genuinely hurt over it. I'm not going to explicitly state, but people have lost their lives over Pokemon in the past few months, and it is crazy like what people are willing to do for some paper cards that are used to a kid's game. It is a kid's game. You know what I mean? That's one of my biggest pet peeves is it is a kid's game, and I am an adult, but I play it. You know what I mean? I spend the money on it because I want to play it. I want to collect some cool cards here and there and build like a crazy deck with those cool. So, not to repeat myself too much.
You know, on top of the violence there are myriad stories now of like people that go to these card shows, like vendors, genuinely like good vendors that are selling individual cards and selling, you know, at market or close to market packs and things, and they're like they come with trailers and things that get broken into and their stock gets stolen.
Yes,
like that's happening now at an alarming rate.
And my biggest thing is like Voice Critical talks about this in his videos, right? Where are these scalpers? Who's paying these scalpers, dude? Like, I know it's people desperate because they're collectors, but it has to be some form of the ultra wealthy just paying it because they want it. It has to be something like that because there's no way that a normal middle class, let's just talk America, middle class American will go out of their way to go buy an ETB for 200% markup, because we just can't afford that. Like, as a normal person, you can't just drop like $300 on a brand new ETB because you really want it. Like, nobody's gonna do that. I don't know who's doing it. You know what I mean? And it's just perpetuating the issue.
I think some of the secondary market for those things is actually other scalpers buying from scalpers
Yeah,
to try to get the price to come up more
that's
so
true.
that they can sell their stock. It's like stocks or something, right?
Yeah,
For them, it's an investment thing. And just like the real world stock market, the vast majority of the activity that happens in there just heavily favors the wealthy, the already advantaged.
yeah,
And I don't, I know a lot of people that collect card games, and because they're players or because they're collectors, they're almost never profit motivated, and they don't buy from scalpers. They're not going to, in part because they can't afford to, because it doesn't
yeah,
make sense to, but also because we've all kind of learned that we don't want to support that and reward that behavior.
yeah. Exactly. I will say the value of the card is cool only when you're collecting it, not when you're selling it, not when you don't want it for profit. But like, let's say you get the Umbreon from Prismatic Evolution, right? It was like a $15,000 card. Like, if I pulled that, I'd be like hyped, but I would not sell it because it's just cool. You know what I mean?
But it would be
Um,
nice to have if you needed money for some reason.
and that's true, but you also, like, you have to sell it almost immediately if you get something like that in the set, like the
That's true.
chaser, because otherwise when people start pulling it, the price goes down tenfold. The other issue, I was talking to Ty Stacks about this before we started. So it's not just Pokemon now. It's every form of card is now getting scalped. I mean, look at, like, not even cards, Nidos are getting scalped, all these different things. Like for example, One Piece TCG was not that crazy in the US. It was not really like collected. It wasn't like, it was collected, but it wasn't like, it was a smaller, more niche market. Now that Pokemon is getting scalped and there's less Pokemon cards, people are scalping One Piece. People are, like, general consumers are hopping over to One Piece to collect. Love One Piece. And they're like, okay, this will be cool. Like, maybe I'll pull like a Luffy Gear 5 full art holo. Like, that would be amazing. And it's like this domino effect now that's coming over the card market. And, like, not to get too economic with it, but a lot of major retailers like Walmart, Target, whatever, they are not enforcing restrictions on how many you can buy. Like, it should be like 1-2 ETBs max
They
per
don't.
person.
They don't have to care.
No, because they're getting the money at the end of it. They don't. They don't care.
All they got to do is turn that stock around. They don't.
I-
They don't have high profit margins on those things, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those things where it's very complicated, and I don't want to yap about that part too much because it's sad. It just sucks because, like I said, as somebody who wants to just play the game, like, people will buy the pre-made decks and pull the nice card out of it and sell it, and it sucks because, you know, I want to run a pre-made deck that's awesome. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool. And it helps you learn how to build. It's a really interesting, you know, debate. Now there's a trend where people are stealing from scalpers' carts. Um,
Seen
I
that.
I kind of agree with it. Just be careful because you don't know how people are. But I'm not gonna lie to you. If you grab it and run away, I'm not gonna stop you. So you know what I mean. You know, it's kind of funny watching scalpers, like, try to fight that like it's mine. You didn't buy it, so. But I'm not promoting violence there.
I think those vending machines were a good idea at first, and then you see people just like getting pushed into the vending machines. It's terrible.
And there's no limits on the vending machines. Like, there is a pretty easy way to instill a limit. Like, whatever card the person is using, limiting it to 1 or 2 purchases would be probably the smartest bet, and limiting how many because you can write code for that. There is code that you can write. It'll register your card number, and it'll be, okay, this card was used X, Y, and Z, and then delete the card number after. It's very possible to do that. It's just Pokemon is not gonna step
I'm not gonna
in.
care.
They're not gonna care because they're making crazy money. It doesn't matter. They're making probably billions at this point with how it's selling out. So, but yeah, I want to hear more about your guys' stuff. I yapped for Pokemon.
Well, the only other thing I'd say about that is from a manufacturer standpoint. So we talk about Hasbro with Magic, to be Wizards, but I mean still Wizards, but Wizards
Yeah,
now owned by Hasbro, or the Pokemon Company. This is the environment they want.
Yes.
from a corporate standpoint. They want this kind of crazy frenzy. They're losing out on the secondary market, and they're going to be bitter about that. But every product that they manufacture disappears instantly. They can't ask for a better situation in that way.
And
So
it's true.
this is ideal for them.
Yeah. I mean, I know Pokemon scalping's been going on for a while, just because of internet selling. You know what I mean? That completely changed the market for anything that's resale value. You know what I mean? Look at Facebook Marketplace, things like that. So yeah, I don't want to go too much into the scalping, but it definitely sucks because I felt bad for Ty Stack. So he's like, I'm starting. I'm like, bro, I'm so sorry. It's gonna be so hard to get a new set. But it's okay. It's not that you'll be able to get there, especially mom and pop card shops. They're very strict on limits to people. Best part. GameStop is very strict on limits. They do not let you buy anything more than what they allow. So there's most GameStops. Most GameStops.
Don't go to
But-
GameStop.
No, I know, but I'm just if you're going for MSRP, you know what I mean. But
If you're
and
going
mom
for
and pop, too.
MSRP, get a good relationship with a local game store, a locally owned one.
They can
That's what I
text
wanna
you and
do.
call you. Yeah.
There's a couple like near my house, so I'm definitely gonna go in there and make friendly.
Yeah, you definitely should. It's also just a cool
make sure
environment.
you wear deodorant and you shower.
Definitely.
It's the year 2026, and that's still a problem.
Yeah, it is. All right, let's hear what about your guys' collections. Whatever you got.
You want to go, Ty?
I can. So to go all the way back to the dawn of time, I was a kid right when Pokemon the TCG came out. I was there kind of right at the age to start collecting and playing. So
Yeah.
and I was very fortunate in that my parents were supportive of hobbies like that because for a couple of reasons. They costed money, which was unfortunate, but they encouraged me to do social activities. And my parents both kind of understood the merit of a game like Pokemon or Magic that involved using your brain to do things.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily the hardest thing to do, and it wasn't a physical activity or anything. It wasn't healthy in that way, but it was engaging in a way that sitting and playing video games maybe wasn't, or just watching TV wasn't. So I was very fortunate in that my parents were very supportive of those. So I bought Pokemon cards early on. I bought Magic the Gathering as a kid, and so I've been collecting for a very, very long time. My Pokemon collection history started with the original sets and then lasted for the first couple of sets, and then tragedy struck. So back in my day, Toys R Us was a thing still,
Oh my god.
and they used to host a Pokemon League. So you would come down with your deck, and you would register your deck, and then you would play other people. And if you got so many wins, they would give you these little badge pins that you could collect. So you were a Pokemon trainer collecting Pokemon badges. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So my friend's parents, my very, very close friend who was into all the same things that I was into, his parents would drop us off at Toys R Us for a couple of hours. They'd go leave and do their own thing, and we would just hang out there. We would play Pokemon until the Pokemon League ended, and then we'd just kind of fart around at Toys R Us. One day, I was like, the league was over. We were hanging out. I asked the staff at Pokemon at Toys R Us at the returns counter. I was like, "Hey, can I leave my backpack here?" Because they told me I couldn't bring it further into the store, and they said, "Sure." Handed it to them. They put it behind the counter. I came back probably not even a half an hour later. They said, "What backpack?" They lost my stuff, or somebody stole it. One of them stole it. I don't really know. The tragedy there was I had a Holo Charizard.
Oh
set.
my.
I had a couple of Holo Blastoises as well. Anyway,
It's like
tragedy,
$1 million card, dude.
I stopped collecting Pokemon around that time because everything that I had worked for was gone. All my decks were in there. Everything that I had, basically. Some bulk stuff was not in there, but the vast majority of things I had collected were in there. I still collected Magic for a really long time. I have Magic cards just to my left here that I recently bought because I'm still kind of into Magic. My history of Magic's a little bit stranger because I played Magic for a really long time. Magic the Gathering kept me involved in always finding, wherever I was, finding a local game store that I could start a relationship with and be happy about. I now have one fairly close to me that I really, really like. They also sell retro games, so I buy a
Yep.
bunch of. I spend an ungodly amount of money on them, which is fine by me. I like supporting a business like that, but they sold me back when it was at the height of its popularity. The thing I have next to me is they sold me a booster box of the Final Fantasy set
Ooh.
at retail. So pretty cool.
Yeah.
Couldn't find them really anywhere else. They kind of had their policy kind of was we'll sell one to anybody that wants them, and they'll sell them at retail. And retail being what they paid for them, not MSRP. So they may have paid slightly more from their distributor, but they did barely marked them up for the customers because they don't barely make anything on them anyways, and it was just to get people to come in and buy things, and always doing that. This whole booster box didn't yield a lot of anything very good, which is kind of unfortunate. I think the most expensive card that came out of here, or the coolest card that came out of here, was this Buster Sword card, which is not even that cool. But um, what Magic's done recently, though, and you can see some of the examples in here, is they've done a lot more cards that are kind of like this, these full art,
Yeah.
borderless cards with alternate art. They're just incredible. Final Fantasy is a set that was kind of important to me just personally as well because I've always loved the Final Fantasy games. I put a an extremely long amount of time into Final Fantasy 6 or 3 as we had in the US on the Super Nintendo. I've played way too much Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 9, Final Fantasy 10. So this set to me was like a must have. The only other really cool thing I got in here was they have these art series cards that are generally not really uh, of any value to me as a collector, but this one's like the limited
Ooh.
runs, 44 of 53. It's this cool Sephiroth card. It's got a little
Oh yeah,
gold
I've
signature
heard
by the
about that.
artist there. Yeah, this card's cool. Other than that, I have heaps and heaps of Magic cards in boxes everywhere in my house, in my closet behind me, in my garage. Probably, I think so. I have some closet in the closet in my bedroom as well. My kids collect Pokemon cards, especially my eldest. One of the great things that I've done the last couple of years is take my family to gaming conventions. So we have Penny Arcade Expo in Seattle that I go to. I've gone to it almost every year except for a couple of years in the COVID years. And this last year I took my family, and I think we'll continue to do that now that my eldest is a little older and my son's a little bit older. But one of the best times we had there when we were there last year was my daughter had a great time
Yeah.
going through the card vendors and picking out their favorite Pokemon cards, singles, and buying Sylveon cards because they like Sylveon. There's also a trainer that they particularly like too. I also, when my kids collect, they don't always care what's in the cards if it's not something like really cool that they're into. So I kind of snag very occasionally some of the cards that they have pulled, and I have them on my desk because they're just fun to look at. Like there's this cool little Metacham EX. I get this cool illustration rare
Oh wow.
Cramorant that I like. And then there's this cool full art Sophocles.
Ooh.
My kids didn't care about these cards. I care about them. I think they're kind of cool. They just sit on my desk. I look at them. I play with them. I shuffle them. Um, the other thing I was going to say too, and I don't play card games as much as I used to. I used to play Magic very regularly. Magic the Gathering is one of those really cool card games too that has a lot of different ways to play because they have online versions as well. They have Arena, which is a really accessible way to play Magic, but they also just have a ton of formats for their game as well. Like Commander's really big right now, where you have one card that is your commander that kind of changes the whole kind of ebb and flow of the game, and it's meant to be played in large groups. There's like singleton decks where you play no more than one copy of a card. There's pauper decks where you play no more than you just play commons. There's an uncommon format is like that as well. So there's a lot of different ways to interact with Magic. I haven't really played in a really long time, but for maybe casually with my wife from time to time over the years.
Yeah.
My kids are not into Magic. This is not their thing, which I can't really blame them.
It's a little.
The other thing, oh, go ahead.
No. I was just saying I like Magic. It's just a little complicated for me, but it's not. It's got like some almost like D&D rules to it, which I struggle with a little bit. But it's a lot of fun. When I learned how to play it like a long time ago, like I don't remember, but it was a lot of fun.
And that's too, like, Magic can be really complicating, and people really love that aspect of it. But it can also be as simple as you want it to be, because of the depth of cards that they've built. Because it's been around for what, 27 years or something, 28 years now.
Yeah.
It's been around for so long that there's just such a depth of cards in there. Collection over the years, their pool that you could draw from, that you could be as complicated or as simple as you'd like. I also have probably my most valuable cards, which I am not going to show off. They're in a protected place, which I didn't get to before the stream, but or before the pod. But I have some in Magic. The resources are lands, and I have some dual lands that are widely used in like legacy formats. So any format that uses old sets. I have these dual lands. They're foils. They're worth $100 a piece. I probably have a dozen of them, different ones. They don't look particularly cool or anything. They're not really special or anything, other than they're worth a lot because they don't get reprinted all that often, and then they haven't been foiled in every set either, as well.
Yeah.
So.
I'm just hoping the scalping doesn't hit Magic. I hope Magic doesn't.
It does. I mean, it does, just to a lesser degree.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it's not as bad. You know what I mean? Like you said, you love playing it. A lot of people love playing it. I know my girlfriend's roommates love playing it. I'm just hoping that more TCGs can get out there so that. And part of the fun, I feel like I remember this in elementary school, was actually trading Pokemon cards. Like, I think one of my cards, the Reshiram, is traded. I traded it for something that and that was like, so as a kid, that was so cool. You're like, oh my god, I love your card. Can I trade you for it? I'll trade you X, Y, and Z, right? And that's like I feel like the nature of it. You know what I mean? Like, let's say you battle somebody, and they're like, I don't really like this card. You're like, I really like that card. Do you like this card? And they do, and then you trade it. You know what I mean? And you guys can build your decks around it. And that's why I like chaser cards too, because they have cool abilities. That's the other thing. Like a lot of chaser Pokemon cards, like this thing, like this has some crazy abilities. Like I can pull 3 energy out of my deck, whichever ones I want, and apply it to a benched Pokemon. Things like that. I don't know. I just wanted to state that.
Yeah, I never really played Magic before.
I really like it. It's just so hard, as you can both attest to, and you will learn as you get older, and life just kind of takes up more of your free time. Getting people together to do something like playing Magic is really difficult, and it's one of those things that, as an aging nerd, you have to pick your battles when it comes to what are we going to do to hang out online. So, and there are so many more accessible multiplayer online things that you can do now that Magic is just, for me, kind of the wayside.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I mean, luckily there's a lot of games, like there's like Tabletop Simulator on Steam, which run D&D and Magic and Pokemon.
Magic the Gathering's in it, yeah.
Yeah, and all these other games. So it's really, really cool. And it's because the communities are so big behind these TCGs that they make these digital things. One of my favorite, Pokemon's very money grabby, but their mobile game that came out recently, where like you pulled packs and you got to play, a lot of fun because you didn't have to spend money to do it. You could just build your deck yourself, and that was like one of the coolest things for me. I enjoyed that a lot, like learning how to build my deck, battling against people, ranking up. So like it was a little monetized, but it wasn't terrible, and it was a lot of fun. And I feel like that should be a good standard for a lot of big TCG. I don't expect One Piece to do that yet because they're not as big, One Piece TCG. But it's just one of those.
Okay, so you said this, and I was actually going to talk about this too. The TCG Pocket, which is the Pokemon game that you're referring to, I play it still. I open 2 packs a day every day, and the new set just came out, like literally just now.
Yeah,
I have pack points saved up from the. They do events all the time in this, and one of the events they did was like 30 days of giveaways, and if you got to the end of it, you got 120 pack points, which is 10 packs to open. I'm opening them right now. This new set.
I was about to open mine and see what I had here.
I'm gonna see. If I get any hits here, I'm gonna show them off. But I love this. I don't.
It gives you like that itch. It scratches that itch to like open a pack without having to worry about all
It
that.
does in a way that it's not as satisfying as actually opening a physical thing and fiddling with it.
Yeah.
But it does in the sense that when you get something really shiny, oh my goodness, I just pulled something crazy. This is a
Oh,
Mega Lucario EX. This is the immersive art.
I love the immersive art feature too. So
This is
cool.
one of the probably the better cards in the set from an aesthetic standpoint. I don't whether or not it's a good card to play. I don't know yet, but
Yeah. That's also what I love
Update.
about this. Like I was talking about like playing the game, and this is like what you're supposed to do. Like you pull packs to build a deck. And that is one of the coolest things.
this was not intentional. By the way, I did not intend to talk about card games on the day this came out. This just happened to be on my brain, and I went to
Crazy.
look at my phone.
There's
Oh, there's a little full more Pico.
so Steve still plays this every day, like religiously. Um, they just came out with an update, and Ty just pulled the Mega Lucario. Yeah,
The immersive, the
the
like the
immersive.
oh, see, this isn't even a particularly good card, probably, but it is a shiny. There's a shiny Blissey. They've
That's
added
cool.
shiny cards to this now too, which is just incredible. They've done something really special with this app because it's made Pokemon something that you can do without spending money. So
Yeah.
I used to spend some money on this when it was new. I haven't in a really long time. I still get enjoyment out of it, and I still I'll make decks and I will play with people online with randoms online because the games take 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and if you lose, so what? You just move on to the next game.
Um yeah, no, I agree. And like you were saying, Magic the Gathering Arena, also another great one. To like if you tie stacks, if you ever want to learn, that's probably the best place because it gives you a lot of like you can go against bots, you can go tutorials. What I would like to say about Magic is it's very similar to how you play Pokemon in the sense of like land. It's similar to like energies in Pokemon. It gets a little bit more complicated with like dice rolls for damage, different things like that. But it's similar to the coin flip. You know what I mean? You have like however many successful coin flips, heads is successful. So however many successful heads you get, that's how much damage you do. Things like that. It's similar, but it's not the same. And you have things like you have different things in like poison and burn and so I highly suggest it. If you're ever interested, like my the job I'm starting is going to be from like 3 to 11 p.m. So I'm not going to be able to play with my friends as much. I might as well just start learning how to play that. Like,
There's a Meloetta full art.
ooh,
Okay,
I'm downloading the
sorry.
update now.
I am too.
Yeah, I'm still flipping through packs here.
I want to
Steve's
hear.
gonna open right now.
I want to see Tie Stacks. Tie Stacks thing. I want to see his
So
his collection.
it's super interesting because so we all collected different things as a kid. Adapty was Pokemon.
Yep.
Glory was Magic. That's a sick card,
Full
Trico.
art Trico. My goodness.
Mine was Yu-Gi-Oh. I played Yu-Gi-Oh every weekend with
I
all
wish
my
I got
friends.
it.
It was so fun. I love it. So these are all of my trap cards.
Ooh, damn.
I have them rubber banded.
Just rubber banded like a bunch of scratchers or something.
Yeah, and then these are all my magic cards.
Oh my god.
And then these are all my monsters.
Wow. That's awesome.
Oh,
And like there's some that I have sleeved because they were really cool. Dark Magician Girl, Dark Magician, Baby Dragon from Joey Wheeler's deck.
Oh yeah.
Time Wizard to pair with Baby Dragon. Everyone knows Summon Skull.
Mm-hmm.
These
Do you have
cards.
a pot of greed in there? It's like one of my favorite
For
cards.
sure. Let me see. That was a magic or a spell card.
I just see
definitely have
so
a
many
Pot of
memes
Greed
about it
somewhere.
online. That's why it's funny.
Nice summon Pot of Greed.
I wish I got into Yu-Gi-Oh. My uncle was into it, I think, at one point, and I loved the art style of Yu-Gi-Oh. It's still around. Like, still make TCG, packs, decks, and stuff like that. How does Yu-Gi-Oh play? That's
So
my.
you start with one monster, low level, 4-star or lower, and
Yep.
then if you want, you can do as many trap cards, magic cards as you want, and then on your next turn, you could either attack with your 4-star monster or you can exchange it for a better one. So like
Yep.
Dark Magician takes 2. You need 2 4-stars or below to summon Dark Magician, and then you get rid of your ass cards.
Yeah.
And then it's first person to lose all their life points. Normally people do 4,000.
Yep.
So like if I hit you and Dark Magician has 2,800 attack and you have 400 attack, I would hit you for 2,200.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it that's really cool. I always wanted to get into it, but as a kid, it felt like too complicated. Which I know sounds stupid, but it was like magic. You know what I mean? It's like learning
Yeah.
so many different kinds of card games just gets to your head a little bit. You'll notice the similarities because there's only so much. But
Back in my day when Yu-Gi-Oh came out, if you were playing Magic, you didn't play Yu-Gi-Oh because that was the game for uh, not Magic play, not sophisticated Magic players. I have nothing against it now. I was fully convinced that that was a thing when I was a kid, though.
um, do you have what's your Pokemon looking like? Type? Said you did you get any crazy?
Yeah, you bought
like...
some recently, right?
Yeah.
I did. I was just looking for Pot of Greed. I can't find it. Maybe it's in my actual deck.
No, you're
I
good.
have somewhere. Pokemon though. So my buddy at work, he just had a baby, and he needs money.
It's Mazel tov.
You know, he needs money for funds, be it diapers and all that stuff. He was selling his Pokemon cards. I said, dude, I want to get into it. Let's do it. Like, bring in your binder. I'll pick which ones I like. Tell me how much it is, and let's do it. So I got some cool ones. I got now. So I'm not in it for the money, right? I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about reselling. I don't care. I just ordered a binder. Super excited. I picked out the cards that I thought were dope. Like I didn't care how much it was. I didn't care if it was a penny. I don't care if it's
I
a
love
million
that. For the
dollars.
record, I
Yeah.
love that.
Yes.
Like I
That is
think
the
these cards are
right
so cool.
reason to buy them.
Dude, I literally my girlfriend's roommates were pulling packs, right? And they had a bunch of leftover cards, and they're like, "We don't want these." I'm like, "Do you?" They're like, "Do you want them?" I'm like, "How much do you want for it?" They're like, "Nothing. Like, just take them. I'm not going to use them." I'm like, bet, give me those cards.
Yeah,
like I will build a crazy deck with those.
a really cool
Ooh.
Houndstone. Really cool. This one is a Radiant Charizard.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I have this one's Japanese. It's a Gardevoir.
Oh my god, that's beautiful. I think I've seen that card before. That is beautiful.
Charizard
I
EX.
think that was a. I think that
Ooh.
Gardevoir is a chase card in the U.S. So
Yes, yes.
The Gengar is.
I think the Gardevoir is too.
There's probably a couple. Oh my god.
Charizard EX.
My goal one
And-
day is to pull a Charizard. Just
Armor Rouge. Super cool.
oh my god, yeah.
And since I got Armor Rouge, I had to get his brother.
Yeah, to
Oh
get the
my
Dragonet too.
God.
I had to get Serial and that's a Japanese one. I'm
For
gonna
the Serial Edge, yeah.
save this one for last. Mega Kangaskhan.
Oh my god. You got some
Hollow.
fire cards there, bro.
I love this art so much. It's probably my favorite one. That
Ooh.
pincer is so cool.
I love the different arts.
I
they
really
do.
love the way they're doing the IRs and the SIRs now.
Yep.
A lot of
Ja-
them have that kind of art style.
Ja-
It's just great.
Jap Hollow Titar.
Oh my god.
This is the Japanese Gengar.
Oh,
That's hollow as well. And everyone makes fun of me for loving this Pokemon, but I love Gudra.
no, I don't.
I don't
see a
think you're
problem with it.
alone in that.
I love Gudra. And then this is my favorite card. I have him tattooed on my body, so I needed it.
Oh my
Radiant
god.
Venusaur, hollow.
Wait, what year is that? That's a yellow border.
The-
That's
It's a
an older
Pokemon
card.
Go.
Oh my god. That's still so cool.
So
I missed
cool.
the yellow border. I'm sorry. I know it's probably wrong.
Yeah,
I
it's
do too,
so
honestly.
cool.
I think the silver border kind of does not look as good.
I think my binder has all yellow. Yeah, all those cards are yellow.
Yeah, so my Radiant Venusaur and Charizard are both yellow borders.
That's so nice.
And then so after I came home with this, Steve goes, "Well, dude, text him. I want to buy some too." So I had Steve get some. Steve, can you hand me your cards?
That's
I'll
awesome.
show you. I'll show you what Steve got. So Steve,
Can I just say right here, this is what I wanted to say before. This is collecting for the love of collecting, which
Yes.
is a very different thing than kind of the wrong motivations for purchasing cards like this. I've always been about collecting to collect things, and
Yeah.
almost to the point of like a hoarder mentality. I don't want to give any of these things up. I love
Well,
them. I paid money for them. I opened every one of these cards. Like these are mine.
and
I don't care that they're worth anything, except again, in your buddy's case, your coworker's case, he needed the money, so it's good to have them too.
yeah, for
That
sure.
you can pick up
I
a couple of dollars by selling some of the stuff that you collected.
I see it as a problem when, influencers, like, all due respect, like, you've got like Logan Paul auctioning off these cards. It's teaching kids almost to treat this as like a gambling thing, and I don't like that because it's what starts it. You know what I mean? I not to get too sad about it, but it's a problem, especially in younger children who can get access to these sites and
Almost
things
like
like that.
Logan Paul's not a good person.
Oh no, he's not. I completely. I mainly mean with all respect to maybe other creators or people who need the money or whatever. But that's something I wanted to mention because like when you open cards for money, right? It's almost like you feel like you're gambling that money into that card pack, and it's
It is
Yeah,
gambling.
you-
100%.
It is.
It's
you don't have
definitely
the
gambling.
passion. Like you're just not passionate
Unless
about the
you're-
actual.
yeah.
content.
If you have the passion, then it's more of an excitation and less of like oh, I need this. You know what I mean? It's like this is going to be fun if I pull this. If not, it's not the end of the. You know what I mean?
Yeah, still get
So
some cool cards out of it.
I just wanted to mention that before. Sorry for interrupting you, Ty Stack.
So Steve got Professor Sadie.
Ooh.
Hollow. She's cute. A full art hollow Torkoal.
Oh my god.
Really cool. I
Yellow
don't
border
remember
too.
this Pokemon name, but it's Jap.
Oh.
That's whatever Scraggy evolves into.
Yes.
Grass.
Yes.
Graffy. He has a Mega Charizard X.
Oh my god.
Super cool.
That is beautiful.
A great Tusk. IR.
Dude, I love.
I hate this Pokemon, but Steve likes it. Flapple.
Oh, I love Flapple.
I hate
That's
Flapple.
so fire.
Steve and I are such kindred spirits.
He has a Charizard with his Leon,
Oh my
the
god.
Pokemon champion.
Steve, where's the Lechonk?
Does not have a Lechonk. You need a Lechonk, bro. The Stimmy's here. He got this one because he
love
just
that
really
art.
liked the art. Yeah,
That
he
art
really
is
loved the
beautiful.
art. We have a Deoxys.
Ooh. Oh my
Super
god,
cool.
that's awesome. I noticed it has like the rapid strike. I'm like, two of them.
Mm-hmm. Few more here. We got Red Gary.
Ooh.
Super cool.
With the shiny Gyarados. Oh,
Pikachu and Zekrom. Like this
Oh
card
my
is
god, that's a
the
hyper
camera
rare.
the camera is doing it no justice, but it's gorgeous. It's full gold. Its hollow
Oh my
effect is awesome. And then to add on to what we were talking about, how like it's about the love of collecting. These cards are probably like 3 cents each, but Steve loved them so much he had to have them. It's Pikachu dressed up as Asta from Black
Dude,
Clover.
that is so peak. Oh my god, that is
And
amazing.
he also has Meliodas.
Oh my god.
Super cool cards. Super cool.
I wish Pokemon did more collabs like that. Imagine like a Spider-Man Charizard. That'd be crazy.
Dude,
That'd go
so
insane.
cool, bro. So cool.
Did you
We
guys
found
see
these cards. They were like they're called like Pikachu cosplay cards. And there's a set of 55 of them. So after we got these two, we were like, oh my god, dude, there's a set of 55. Let's order it. It's like $20 for all 55. So we're gonna do it.
a little bit of a side tangent? Did you guys see the Spider-Man Noir show is releasing soon with Nick Cage as the main actor?
Did-
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
yeah,
It looks
yeah.
like the first good Marvel show in a hot minute. I am so excited. Oh
Thank
my
you, Steve.
god.
And that's because it's not being produced directly by Marvel. It's being produced by Sony.
Yeah, and then on top of that too, it's also apparently they're releasing black and white episodes, I think, in tandem with the regular episodes, so you can watch it like noir format, or they might release it after or something. But they
Oh, I
are
thought it was defaulted to black and white.
no, so I think there's color and then there's noir.
There's
So like
both.
you
Yeah,
can
there's
have
both.
I'll watch it through twice if it's that good. I
I'm
don't
not
care.
watching black and white.
I'm gonna try to watch it in color first because I want to see like because noir has, I feel like it looked almost like steampunky, kind of not steampunky but like I don't that's not the right word, but the color looked beautiful too. So I'm just excited to see it. Like also Nick Cage is funny. So, it's gonna be a great show.
He's also so old. It's crazy that he's playing a Spider-Man.
Don't mention that to me. Um
One of the things you deal with when you get to be a little bit older is actors age too.
I
So
know.
you're gonna more and more actors you love are gonna keep getting old. It sucks.
I know. I know.
I look at like Will Ferrell and I see him and things and I'm like, oh, Will Ferrell's so old now. That makes me so sad.
Also, Steve has a shoebox somewhere in this room that I don't know where it is. He has a bunch of old Pokemon cards from when he was a kid. Like played with, like he played, like he battled all of his friends and
Oh
stuff.
my god.
He has a Blaine's Charizard somewhere in this room, and it's awesome. I
pretty
held it in my hand. It felt exactly like holding an $800 piece of cardboard feels like.
Yeah. I
It was
Now,
really cool.
Ty
Tyson,
said- you go first.
are you gonna learn to play the game?
I might if Steve wanted to like do a card battle, I probably would. But
Yeah.
Secondarily, are you gonna rip packs?
I'm for sure gonna rip packs, 100% ripping packs.
Are you gonna do it on stream?
I'll stream it for
You
sure.
should Ty Stacks. If you get the chance to get your hands on an ETB, you can build your own deck around those cards. It's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of tutorials online about like how to build it, what to build it with. Highly suggest it if you want to. Like, if you really love those cards, getting to see them in action is something that's you can't.
Can
It's
I
a cool
add something
feeling.
to that too? There are countless resources for putting together relevant decks for any card game out there that you can just go to these sites and you can kind of choose what archetype you want or what color or whatever type you
Yes.
want. And you can go, here's a deck list that's been in tournaments and placed high or something in the top 10 or whatever. And then you can import those deck lists into games, into electronic format games, or you can go to card sellers like TCG Player or something, and you can search those decks there and get all the cheapest version of those cards and put them in a cart so you can build the decks with singles, which is usually a lot cheaper than building them by ribbing packs. So
Yeah.
if you're actually into playing the games too, there are so many resources out there for making that as cheap a process as possible, because really if you're trying to build decks to play, the most economical thing to do is just buy the single cards that you need.
And
Yeah,
also,
I think if I was
Which is
to
not as
play
much
if I was to play the Pokemon card game, I would want to use the packs or the cards that I pulled.
yeah,
I wouldn't want to go and buy. Oh, I need this one Bulbasaur, so let me just go buy it. No, I'm gonna rip it. I definitely want to.
and
These are my cards.
those energy packs come in the ETBs, but also coolest part about mom and pop shops, if you go, a lot of times they sell bulk energy for super cheap because they don't.
Sometimes they'll just give them to you.
Yeah, exactly. So, and also like it, because you guys are talking about online Pokemon games. There's Poke MMO is big online, but also Pokemon Showdown is very fun if you want to like customize exactly what kind of Pokemon you want to run. Based off of all generations, like a regular Pokemon like experience, like a video game, you can make your team from however long. There's restrictions based off of game modes. You can like fully get into it. I was never smart enough to get into it because I'm kind of slow. And then if you like roguelikes, Pokerogue, if you've ever heard of it, highly suggest it. It's online. It's a roguelike Pokemon game. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like every time you finish a level, you get to choose like, okay, do you want a healing spray? Do you want whatever else it is? Like it's really fun, all free. So if you guys ever get the chance to play that, you can just load it up on your computer. It's like I don't see ads on it either. Like it's just a good, like people just put their passion into it. You know what I mean?
I do know I do know with Poke MMO too, you do need to know a little bit about getting ROMs and stuff. So
Yeah.
just a little bit of knowledge is required there, because while it is generally safe and easy to get ROMs, you do have to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, you just
Definitely.
virus scan everything. No matter what you download online, unless it's through something like Steam or a game launcher, you want to run some sort of virus scan after. And Windows security now is pretty good with virus scan. in my opinion. They're full.
Windows, the built-in virus scan is good.
The full, like, if you put the full scan on and walk away for half an hour and come back, it will find it scans every file. Like I have like sometimes like 3 million files it scans for me. Finds everything. It will misidentify something sometimes, so just know what you're installing. But
if you know the basics about ROMs, definitely try Poke MMO. That was one of the.
if you
Yeah.
I beat it. It's so much fun.
also, if you have a Mac, it is a lot safer and download those things. Because for some reason Macs are just a lot less prone to malware because people just don't write code for malware on Macs as much. So it'll be a lot safer to have something. Just a little.
I liked Poke MMO because you could pick the region that you started in. You could pick your starter. Your starter follows behind you.
Cool, man.
I like that.
That's
Poke MMO was a good time.
They did that in Yellow too, right? Yellow was the first one to have.
That's where that started. Yeah. And really they didn't do that again until much later. It was just Yellow was so specific because of Pikachu and the anime.
I remember Tyglorious when he started this, or before he started this, he wanted to talk about like board games. I know we don't have a lot of time, but I feel like that'd be a good little ending segment to go on.
I mean, I have a ton of board games, and some of them are kind of TCG adjacent. I also have other TCGs that are not kind of the big couple. Like there was for a while. Oh, I mean, we talked about this previously. The Cyberpunk TCG on Kickstarter. Yep. I backed that, so there'll be an update in a pod episode when that ships. It's supposed to be Q3 of this year when that ships. So sometime, September, August, or something. Hopefully, I'll have something to show there, and that should be pretty cool. I bought the booster. I'll have a booster box and some starter deck stuff, so there should be some stuff to show, which is pretty cool. But I backed another Kickstarter for a while ago. So I've talked about the Binding of Isaac previously in another episode about gaming. There's a Binding of Isaac TCG that was kickstarted. I have that as well, which is, and it's actually less TCG and kind of more. The cards aren't randomized. You get a complete set when you buy them. So I guess it's not a TCG. It's more akin to a board game, but it's pretty fun and pretty weird. Like anything that they do. A long time ago, there used to be this TCG called Anime Mayhem, and Anime Mayhem was one of the first big kind of crossover things that I can ever remember. And it was a bunch of anime series came together and they were releasing all these sets of cards from these animes that were all playable in the same system. So you had like Tenchi Muyo and Dragon Ball Z and Ranma 1/2 and things that would never be compatible in any way, shape, or form if you actually stuck them together. But it was pretty cool, and it was kind of hard to get my hands on cards for a long time, and I still have them in a box somewhere. There was also in the mid 2000s, and I think this still exists, but there was something called HeroClix, and HeroClix was based on Marvel and DC Comics. There were these little figurines that had stats in the base, and you spun them around based upon how much damage they took, and you played it on this big paper map that had all these objects and stuff on it. I had so many HeroClix for so long. We played that game so much.
I was actually wondering about that because my girlfriend had an event at her school recently, gaming club on campus, and they had clicks like a bulk amount because they were like $2 a piece. And I thought it was so cool.
Mm-hmm. It was the coolest game.
The figures just looked cool, but it reminds me it's almost like akin to Warhammer. I feel like with like the minifigures.
Yes.
Which I don't want to get too much into.
Conceptually really similar to Warhammer. You build a team based on a point system, just like you do with Warhammer. And the point system, there was 3 levels of rarity. Well, 4 levels of rarity. So you could have like Spider-Man, say, and he would have a rookie, a pro, a superhero. I forget what they called the 3 tiers, and then sometimes there'd be unique versions of them. But they would all be assigned a point value, and you had to build a team based on a point cap. And then they had team affiliations that gave bonuses and things, and then every stat had all these different superpowers tied to it. Yeah, and it was awesome. You had to measure, like for ranged attacks, you had to measure how many squares away on the board your opponent was and everything. We had so much fun playing HeroClix. We played that forever.
I've always wanted to get into Warhammer because I love the universe. And the video games are great most of the time, like Vermintide and Darktide and all these other ones. Oh my
My
god! Wait,
man, look at this.
I have an entire bin full of
oh
them.
my god! Just
We call
for
them a tactics.
that's awesome.
Yeah, there were
Vader.
definitely some. Yeah, so these are slightly different. I don't think they're spin-offs because they weren't like official, but it was the same kind of concept that got created much later after the
Yep.
HeroClix sets.
Yeah, these I love these
Also,
things. These are so cool.
Dude,
al-
the game though, that scratched so many itches for me because it was collecting miniature figures. It was Marvel. It was DC. It was a collectible game that we could play. I was addicted to HeroClix for so long. I
I
still have some lying around.
I wanted to give a little notice to any listeners that are still listening, is that if you really want to see what's going on, I highly suggest watching it. Don't pull it up on your car while you're driving, but watching through and looking at the cards you want to look at might help a little bit
A big boy
see.
too.
Ooh,
So
that's
like the
awesome.
Yeah, so those are Star Wars ones
so,
too. That's even
yeah.
better.
So you would have to hit his leg and then this leg and then he'll fall down, and that's how you
That's
get.
Oh,
so
wow.
cool.
That's not the same thing at all. That's
So
actually
cool.
also
And you
very
shoot them
cool.
with these things.
That's so cool, dude.
Some of the figures will have like a like Boba Fett. He'll go down and shoot you with his blaster.
Oh my god, that's so cool, dude.
Boba Fett would go down.
He would go down. And then you got like like so like these ones would be worth like 30 points, but then like Vader is probably like 50.
Yeah.
In games like that and HeroClix, they were trying to do. They were trying to take a game like Warhammer or MechWarrior, which was another thing that was very much like that, like miniatures and measuring distance on a table and having different weapon sets and skill armies like that. That was an attempt to take a game like that and make it a little bit easier, more collectible, easier to get into, lower barrier to entry. That kind of stuff
Yeah.
is really good for gaming, but at the same time, there's so many competitors for your dollars that it's really hard to live in that space. Like you have to really have a product that lives, and almost none of these do, unfortunately.
I even saw recently that a Italian brain rot AI TCG just dropped. That was in a Newberry Comics that I was in. So there's that. There's a lot of like there's funny ones too. That's another thing I love about trading card games. There's like I think they're all fake, but this guy makes his own fake like divorced dad cards. Really funny stuff that he puts on there. If you ever want to look at it, look online. It is so funny. I'm all for
That got turned into a real TCG. Actually,
it did.
But
it did. Oh my
it did
god,
not
that is
start as one.
beautiful. That is beautiful. But it was just it. I don't know. I love it. I also love board games. Like I grew up on like Battleship and Monopoly, but I had like different versions. So Monopoly, I had the credit card Monopoly, which is so cool. It like you put in the credit card and it like you could put however much money on it, and it always turned into somebody sneaking a credit card in when they weren't supposed to and giving you $1 million.
The time-honored tradition of cheating at Monopoly will not be defeated.
No, it won't. And then the coolest thing I had growing up, I still have it in my basement somewhere. I hope the batteries didn't just alcohol to get rid of the battery acid, but it was automatic Battleship. So you would put your coordinates in a little like number pad, and your other person would do the same. So when they did that, you would put in the coordinate for your attack and press start. It would register that on their end, and you would hear a sound if you missed or hit. Coolest part was you could play it alone. So like say I really wanted to play Battleship, but nobody wanted to play it with me at that time. Sounds sad, but it's a lot of fun. There was an AI in it. Like there was an automatic, like it would simulate, not an AI. It would simulate another version where it would put it on X, Y, and Z. And it was a lot of fun as like a little kid. And it had this cool, like it was like a big like brick like this, but you would open the sides and it would be like a trifold kind of, and it would stand on its like two legs. It's just or not on its two legs, on that and like a T, like upside down T. It was so much fun. I had to mention.
I have a Battleship. It's from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh,
yeah, it's pretty cool. Like all the ships are from the movies.
Yep. Stratego. I love Stratego. That
That's
was
my
a lot of
favorite
fun.
one. I love Stratego. No one ever knows about it.
I do. I used to play. So when I was before I became an Eagle Scout, when I was way younger, we used to have this trip where we would go snow tubing. It was like a fun trip, less of a learning trip, more of just like a go have fun, eat, sleep, have a good time. And we would play Stratego until like 2 in the morning, in the cabin by a lake. Like there's just something about it. I don't know. That's another thing. I have a lot of nostalgia from Boy Scouts with that. You know, like all the different card games you could come up with and the board games and
Mancala.
oh,
Probably a lot
I
of
forgot how to
Mancala.
play it, but I loved that game as a kid. I don't know
Uh,
why. Oh my god.
How about how many different versions of Monopoly there are?
Yeah, it's kind of ludicrous. I gotta be honest with you.
There's a version of Monopoly for literally every IP that has ever existed.
I mean, they make some good money off of it, so I guess it works.
The big thing for me when I was a kid, that me and my friends, we played a lot of Risk,
Oh, I love
and
Risk.
then Risk became things like Settlers of Catan, which is
Yep.
a great game.
I've heard that's amazing. I've never played it.
Everybody knows Settlers of Catan. Oh, you should play it.
Yeah.
It's really fun. Again, the caveat being that you have to be able to get people together to do these things. I keep buying board games, even though I have the hardest time getting people together because everybody's just busy because everybody has kids now in my world and work and vacations but I have things like if you look up Dice Throne is a system of games that is kind of based loosely on Yahtzee, but the different kinds of combinations of roles are hero powers. So I have these Marvel versions that are some are Marvel superheroes, some are X-Men related, and
Yeah.
it's awesome.
I'm
That's
looking
the
at it
most
right
fun
now.
board game I've played in forever. Dice Throne is so cool.
Oh,
It's the
that's
most fun
so
board game
interesting.
I've played in forever.
Oh, they have a digital version you
But
can play in VR.
hard to get people to do things though.
Yeah. No,
Always
I
that.
I get you. I'm starting
Always
to hit that point in my life. We're all becoming adults, all graduating college, all with
All
our
graduating from
significant
college. That's where
others.
it gets kicked off.
Everybody's with their significant others. Some are with their significant more than others. People are going to be moving in together soon. People are now. It's. I have a friend in the Air Force too, so that makes it a little bit more complicated. And he got put on nights, so I'm going to be working nights. He's going to be working nights. That's when we mainly play our game. So I get it. It's definitely going to be rough, but I don't know. The beauty is the online gaming. Like most board games that have a fan base, like a very dedicated fan base, like we talked about, have made some form of digital version of it, whether it's a mod to a current game, whatever it may be. I'm trying to think of other board games.
I remember playing SpongeBob Life a lot when I was a kid.
I never played that. I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, they made Life, but it's SpongeBob.
Oh, SpongeBob Life. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I also love the game of Life. That game's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of any other board games. I don't know.
I know I have a whole stack of them downstairs too, and I have this one that's called 5 Minute Dungeon. It's super fun. It's like a kind of like a card tile mashing game. You have a hand, you have a different kind of class, and you're all trying to make these different combinations of cards between all the players, and you have a certain amount of time, and you have to defeat all these cards to get to the boss inside of 5 minutes. And there's an interactive timer app that you could download to play along with it, which is pretty fun. I had another one on the top of my head too that we played recently. I have a giant stack of board games, and we almost never play them anymore because it's just so hard to get people together. But when we do, though, it's a good time. I did have a question for the two of you, and maybe we can just kind of leave off on this. But earlier I was talking about attending a gaming convention at PAX. Have either of you ever attended like a nerd convention?
No, I have
been to a
not, and
tattoo
it's been a
convention.
dream. It has been a dream to do.
Can I just tell you, there are between Comic Cons and Penny Arcade Expos, which are the big ones. Those are the expensive, really well attended events that everybody goes to. You could go to there's usually regional, smaller like anime conventions that are super fun, super chill, super nerd heavy, and for me, so my convention going experience, there's a convention in Seattle called SoccerCon, and it's a anime convention. And when I started going to anime conventions, literally forever ago, before I even lived in this part of the state, and I would drive across the state to go, people in my orbit that were not my close friends were like, "You're going to an anime convention? That sounds so weird." Like it was that long ago that I started attending these things, and now it's just nobody would bat an eyelash if you were saying that you were going to an anime convention because anime is just everywhere now. But those conventions, they're a weekend of getting away, nerding out, taking pictures of people that are dressed up in cool costumes, playing video games, shopping, buying
Yeah.
things. If you ever get a chance to go to like a regional anime convention, I highly recommend it. And if you have the resources to go to a much larger convention like a Comic Con or a Penny Arcade Expo or something, do yourself a favor, attend an event like that, even if it's only one time in your life,
Yeah,
because
I plan on
it is it's an event. It's worth doing in your life.
I've always wanted to go to one. I just haven't had the ability yet. Just because, like I've said before, I'm in Connecticut, and there's not like really anything super close to here that's always great. Like they have some in like Hartford, which but it's very small. I want to go to like a huge
I
one.
bet you Boston's got some stuff.
Oh yeah, Boston probably. I should probably go up to Boston for that. But yeah, I don't know. It's been a dream. I also want to visit Seattle one day. That's another dream. It's just a beautiful Pacific Northwest is like
Come on down.
But Pacific Northwest is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in my entire life. I just want to experience it myself.
You should. I'll host a live podcast here in my house with all three of us. Come on down.
We'll play some board games.
We'll
I'm
play
down.
board games. I've got room for sleep in here too.
We gotta
Come
have
on
the great tie reunion podcast episode or reunion union.
More Pico.
Oh yeah.
Are you opening packs?
Yeah, I
he
just
was
opened
ripping
one.
Dude,
I got more
tie
Pico.
stacks. When you rip a pack, that smell of fresh cards is like a blood rush to the head, dude. Oh my god.
Cannot
I
wait.
know my
I'm
cards
going
still
to go
smell like that
bankrupt.
because I have them in the sleeves. But like, dude, when you rip open a pack and you smell that, you're like, oh, this is great.
I one day
Again,
want to get a pack from the 90s and smell some 90s air again.
Oh yeah.
I've got these Final Fantasy cards over here that I've just been kind of picking them up and putting them down and kind of shuffling with my fingers because it's just there's something that tactile about that that's just very pleasing.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
All right.
well, we can talk about all this stuff again another time. I think that's plenty of conversation for today.
Yep.
Join us next week for who knows what. I don't know what we're talking about next week.
Yeah,
we came up with today's docket today.
Yeah, we come up with
So-
a very few select things, like on the day of. So we'll figure it out.
Fortunately, we're good at talking about random
Yes.
stuff, so that'll continue into perpetuity. Go find TieStacks237 on Twitch. Go find Adaptable at adaptable _ on Twitch.
If I ever stream it.
Like, comment, subscribe, because I really hate saying those things, but I think that at this point, I don't know if that helps anything. I don't know if that
does.
actually encourages anybody to do it, but
It does.
certainly it would help us with the algorithm and getting us out there.
And
having
make
us
sure to
continue
comment.
do this, even though we're going to keep doing this, whether or not
Yeah.
people
The biggest thing
comment and
is
talk about things.
we like the comments because we can read it and interact with the viewers post episode. And I understand not everybody's going to be able to listen to every one by the time the next episode gets recorded because we record on Mondays. The episode releases on Fridays. So I'm not going to expect anybody to be.
Don't tell everybody how the sausage is made.
Well, no, it's just so they have an idea, you know what I mean? But like I said, it's listen, everybody's busy. I get it. So, but if you do comment, you will most likely, because our fan base is smaller now, you will get into an earlier episode. And
You will.
yes, I don't know if we can make you YouTube VIPs or something, being a member of the core audience if we ever get big, but we'll do something.
And if you want us to shout out your name specifically, we'll even do that. I don't mind that. I've been not saying people's usernames out of concern for anonymity, but
Yes. All right. That's a good place.
yeah. Sounds good. Thanks for joining us again. Have a great week. We'll talk to you.